Hey guys, welcome back. So in this video, I want to show you guys my exclusive Arena Champion tier list. First thing about this tier list is this list will not include any Arena damage dealers because I already made a video called Arena Damage Dealer tier list sometime last week. If you guys haven't watched it, I will put the link in the description below. So let me just show you guys the list right now. Again, this list is my personal opinion. This is gonna be subjective, but it should be agreed with most of top arena player. So there are 5 tiers: OP, S+, S-, A, and has potential. So only the OP tier is gonna be ranked. Any other tier, it's just too many champions. I put the champion I can think of into this list, so there are a lot of champions. Only the top row is gonna be ranked, and I'll try to go through these champions with you guys. So it's gonna be a fun video. Let's get into it. Alright, let me just go through the OP tier with you guys. Like I said before, only the OP tier is ranked. Any other tier, there are just too many champions. There's no way to rank them. So, alright, obviously the best arena champion in the game, who else can it be other than Warlord, right? He's been on the throne for like over a year now, and the player room just keeps releasing mechanics and gear sets you can only use Warlord to deal with. So of course he's gonna be the best. No one else even comes close. So the money shot is this one. Put enemy skill to cooldown, simple and easy. If you build him with enough speed and accuracy, he's gonna destroy the enemy easily, and that's basically it. Alright, then I think the second best arena champion in the game is gonna be Sifi. She's old school now because she was released Valentine's Day on 2020, if I remember correct. So I think a lot of people has got her at this point. And I remember I did a tier list, kind of arena champion ranking video on last year, and I think I put Hegemon and Duchess ahead of Sifi because at that time Rhodos wasn't that strong. But I think in the current meta, because Rhodos is so OP, that just brings Sifi to another level. You must have Sifi to go with Rhodos. That's the best offense team in the game. So that's why I think Sifi is the second best arena champion in the game at this moment. And then we have Kaimar. I think people start to use Kaimar after a while after the Swift Parry was released. People realized that Kaimar is such a good champion dealing with Swift Parry set. And now there are many different ways to build Kaimar. You can go with high accuracy or high resistance. High accuracy, obviously the sleep and buff strip, it's super good. And the cooldown reset, if you use your damage dealer with a Kaimar, basically he can reset the skill cooldown and have your nuker to do damage again. And if you build a high resistance Kaimar, you can use this champion to resist Warlord's A3. So it's a very good Warlord counter. But I mean, no matter how you build your resistance, there's always gonna be a Warlord that has higher accuracy than your resistance. That's just how it goes. That's how this game works. So, and then we have Duchess. Duchess is like super good in arena, mainly for defense. And his passive, like 25% AoE damage reduction, it is really good in arena defense. You can build a very tanky team with this champion. Also, if you want to use her in offense, she's also really good. But if you want to use her in offense, you should build her with higher speed, at least 250. And she actually has a cheaper replacement, which is Brogni. If you use Brogni in arena offense, he works pretty much the same as Duchess. And next we have Hegemon. Like, if it's a year ago, Hegemon was the best arena champion in the game because he's gonna force the enemy team to use immunity against you, and he is a very good counter to speed meta. But right now there are just so many strategies you can counter Hegemon, and player release some OP champions like Necret, so it's just kind of bring Hegemon down a little bit. I know Hegemon is still very popular in like top arena players, but I feel like Hegemon defense are not that hard to, personally. I don't think put Hegemon on defense is necessary. And then we have Necret. I put Necret in the OP tier is because he is a both-way champion, both offense and defense. And I did not put Ursuga on the OP tier because Ursuga is like exclusively for defense only. There's no one in the game use Ursuga on offense, but Necrit is so good on offense and defense. And especially when the Stone Skin set was released, like Stone Skin Necrit is extremely good. Maybe you cannot win the fight with Stone Skin Necrit, but it can slow down the enemy for like a minute. So it's really good. And next we're gonna have Arbiter, very old school from the mission. A lot of people just take her for granted, but like we just cannot live without this champion. I know a lot of people feel the same way. You cannot live without this champion, even in Gold 4, right? I saw a lot of complaints are saying that a Gold 4 is full of Arbiter defense. Like Arbiter is just so good, and you definitely need one. If you got Arbiter from the mission and you pull another one, you should definitely keep two. Build one in triple speed set and build one in immunity set. Alright, now let me talk about my S plus tier. Again, this tier is not ranked, so don't look at these champions in order. Because there are too many champions, it's impossible for me to rank them. The first champion I want to talk about is kind of my personal favorite. I know a lot of people and a lot of other content creators saying that this champion is not worth the effort because the mission is super hard. But honestly, I think Ramantu is so good. Maybe it's for top arena only. I just think he is definitely a solution to a lot of super difficult arena defense team. Think about Duchess, think about Ursuga. If you just put their passive on cooldown, right, with this A3, it's really good. I think the only two champions that he cannot counter is Sifi and Cardio. Because you block their passive cooldown, it's not gonna help your team at all. So I won't use this champion against most of Sifi or Cardio, but against any other team, he works better than Madame, 100%. And then we're gonna have Krisk. Krisk used to be like top tier, probably top 5 in the game because of this passive here. But right now, Krisk is still the Krisk, but Plarium just released a lot of good champions that kind of outshined Krisk. For example, Ursuga and Necrit, they're both better than Krisk in top arena. So it's not really, Krisk is not that OP anymore, it's just they're a better choice, the new champions. So next is gonna be Ursuga, just talking about Ursuga. I did not put Ursuga in the OP tier because I feel like this champion is pretty much for top level of arena only. If you're in Gold 4, I don't think this champion is gonna help you that much. You will need to have enough gear level for your team to not get one shot, right? But if you're in Gold 4 or lower, you don't have that kind of gear level. Even if you put Ursuga on your team, you still get one shot. So there's really no point. If I make a tier list exclusively for super endgame, this champion is definitely like OP tier. Alright, next is gonna be Cardio. The most beautiful looking champion in the game, and I still don't have this Cardio. I'm actually missing a lot of Sacred Order champions. I do not have a Cardio. I think this champion is really good. A cleanse and ally attack. So he's the only champion in the game that can do these two skills. And he's actually a really good counter to Ramantu, right? Because block his passive really means nothing. And yeah, overall he's just a really solid champion. Cleanse and ally attack. Next we're gonna have Valkyrie. Valkyrie are mainly used for countering the speed meta because of the passive, especially counter those super fast Sifi. It's gonna decrease their turn meter by 30% because it's like 10% each buff, right? So it's gonna decrease the enemy's turn meter by 30% in total if they use a Sifi. Well, counter attack is still really good, but it's gonna get removed in arena, so it's really all about the passive and the A1. If you use this A1 and the mastery, what's it called? That can decrease enemy's turn meter, and that's pretty much it. Because my account, I'm super fast, so I don't use this champion a lot, and I feel like using a CC Hegemon is a better way to go against those super fast teams. So I don't use this champion a lot, but this champion is definitely amazing. And then we're gonna have Lydia. This skill here, defense down and weaken, and strengthen, increase speed. This is super good. Funny story is when this champion was first released, I think when like first 50 player who got him, they all gave her a 1 out of 5 review. They think this champion is not good enough, but right now the review just going up and up. That's a good thing because this champion is solid, and this block revive thing, right? I think there's another champion that's kind of interesting compared to Lydia. That is this new lizard here. Already the player got her. He has a passive which is place a stun on champion that was revived, but this is not even as close as good as Lydia because this is actually a single target revives. Because for example, if Duchess revives 3 champion, only the first champion that got revived will get stunned. So this new lizard is not even close compared to Lydia. Lydia is definitely unique and solid. I use Lydia a lot, even especially against those double reviver defense. Alright, then we're gonna have Torment. I think he is a fusion for 2019 Christmas. I think I started to play this game during the Torment fusion, so I wasn't able to get him, but I was able to pull 2 Torments. I think when this champion was released, he completely changed Arena, and then Plarium just nerfed him a lot. I think they nerfed the passive a lot. When this champion was first released, the passive even affect healings. So for example, if one of your champion got healed somehow, they got frozen. That's how broken this champion was. Then he was nerfed. He kind of just constantly receives small nerfs, kind of like that. But right now, because there are just too many immunity champions in the game, he is just not like godly OP in the current meta. Then we have Lady Kimmy. Lady Kimmy is really good, but she is a very new champion. Like, she is kind of like a mini Siphi. Lady Kimmy is still a very new champion. In top arena, not many people are able to get duplicates copy of her, so we don't see a lot of Lady Kimmy in the current meta, in the current arena, because like in Platinum arena, it's all about duplicates. If you don't have like at least +2, you're not gonna use her. Alright, then next is gonna be 200 rack. I think the champion is solid. Again, this is a very new champion. We don't see many people have multiple copies of her. But I think she's very good for defense and very good for clans. But I wouldn't say like she's godly. But I do see people use this champion and got number 1 in Platinum Reset. Alright, next is gonna be Molly. Molly is very popular in top arena countering Hegemon. But the reason I put Molly not as OP tier is because he is pretty much for Hegemon only. If you are not going against the Hegemon team, you're not gonna use her at all. And she is also really good counter those A1 Hegemon. It doesn't matter that's an A2 Hegemon, A1 Hegemon. She's always a good counter. Going against the A1 Hegemon, all you need to do is make her the lowest HP on your team. I know it's a little bit difficult because she's a support champion. Usually support champions are relatively tankier, but you just have to adjust your gear to have Molly to be the lowest HP on your team, and it will be able to counter those A1 Hegemons. Alright, then we're gonna have Basher. This is a Skinwalker epic champion. This is the mini warlord. This A2 here. Attack all enemy, put cooldown of all target by 2 turns. If you use this champion in arena offense, he works exactly the same as warlord. There's no difference at all. Usually you finish the fight in 2 turns. So in an offense situation, this champion is the warlord. He's just 5 speed lower than warlord, something like that. But in defense, there's a lot of difference. Warlord is like 10 times better than this champion in arena defense. But like this champion is an epic, okay? Alright, that's pretty much it for the S tier, S plus tier. Alright, move on to the S minus tier. I will try to go through them a little bit faster because there are too many. First for Yoshi, I think this champion is really good. He was a fusion, and people only gave her a 4.1 on offense, but I feel like this champion is at least a 4.8 on offense. Like, increased attack and increased accuracy, the only champion in the game that can do that, and with a decent speed and a speed aura, if you build him relatively faster, followed with a buff strip, this champion is definitely amazing. And then we have Lissandra. I don't even know if Lissandra belongs to the S- tier because currently I don't see this champion at all. Like double speed boost is really not usable in the current meta. But if you want to build this champion with your fastest gear, it still works. And then we have Raiho, another cleanser, as a Void Legendary cleanser. He is obviously better than those epic cleanser. That's why I put her on the S- tier. Very solid base speed and cannot be debuffed, so you don't have to put an immunity set on her. That makes her a lot easier to gear. And then we have a Coronar. This is actually an interesting champion. Usually he is a beast in Gold 4. I definitely like a lot of people experience a Coronar and Minaya combo that is very annoying. Actually on my account I have 5 Coronar, so I'm thinking about building a Coronar +4 and try it on Platinum Arena. Maybe after I get more Skinwalker dupes, because I need Coronar for my Faction Guardians. But if I got more dupes, I will definitely make a video showing you guys a +4 Coronar destroying everyone. Okay. Alright, then we have a Ragling here, very old school. I think she's good because of the revive, full terminator revive, 2 turns cooldown, and if the enemy doesn't have enough damage against you, she is very good on offense and those type of gold second arena offense team. She's obviously very good on defense, and I think she will be very good on those type of gold second offense team. And then we have the Withier, the Crown, a very new champion. We just had a 10x. Where is she? I think she's a decent champion, but not like god tier. The reason being is she's red affinity, which is very good on defense, and she is tanky. She can help your team survive, but I think the main usage of her is to just slow down the enemy attack, exclusively for top Platinum Arena. I see people using her just to make a super tanky team, and it will take you like 3-5 minutes to kill, and that's the only reason you bring her to your team. And then we have a Seeker, super old school champion. I think before like Necrid was released, he was a super good counter to those type of nuking hegemons because he can help your team to survive with his passive. If he's hit with a critical hit, 60% increased defense on all allies. I think there's another champion in the game right now can do that as well. That is Kyoku. I think this is similar, but this is a legendary champion, so she is obviously better. But Seeker is right now is just a little bit old school now, and I don't see many people using him. And then we have Madame, another super old school champion, a Void Affinity buff stripper that was everybody's favorite. I think most people call her people's champion, right? And she survived a lot of balance patch. Plarium did not nerf her, and right now there's no reason to because she is an epic, and everybody like are going to empower their legendaries and not epics. That's why she kind of we just don't see many of her being used anymore in top level of arena because she's an epic. And then we're gonna have Richter Draith. Where is she? I think this is here. She's very good in a defense situation. She is super tanky if you pair her with a Duchess, and she has this increased resistance on the Perfect Veil champions, right? So she's a very good pair if you go build her with a Duchess, and she is super annoying in arena defense. If you put a team like Duchess, Richter Draith, Kendraphone, team like that, super annoying. And then we have Gurgle. I think Gurgle was buffed last year sometime. They increased his base speed to 98. This is really good. And his skill is actually very solid. Like, remove 2 random buffs from all enemy and place freeze. I think this is good enough. Usually, at the start of the round, enemy are not going to have like more than 2 buffs. So this is solid enough. But the only problem is Sifi. A lot of people forgot about Sifi's passive. His passive is just remove freeze from your teammates. I think this is really OP. I really hope Plarium get rid of this. 40% chance removing freeze and fear from each ally, right? I think this is just a direct counter to Gurgle and make Gurgle not usable. in a top arena situation. Then we have Volgoth, a Undead Horde epic, right? He is very good, like super tanky, and he heals like crazy. So when he takes damage, he'll all ally by 50% of the damage received. He's gonna help your team survive very, very long. But like, this affinity is really an issue because the best nuker in the game, they're all like magic affinity. If they make Volgoth a force affinity champion, he's gonna be much, much better. And then we have the new champion here, Mithrala. Nobody has got her yet, but I do think she is a very decent champion. At least S- tier. Maybe she's even better. Because like, this passive is gonna increase champion's resistance by the amount of this champion's accuracy. So if I build this champion with 800 accuracy, which I can, because I have 3 blind seers sitting in my vault, just waiting for me to get this champion, I'm gonna empower this champion to +3 once I got her. So like, if I build this champion with 800 accuracy, she's gonna have 800 resistance. That's like super powerful, and I don't think even with an increased accuracy you're gonna able to strip her, because my gear will have resistance as well, right? So this champion is probably gonna have like 1000 resistance. So yeah, I do think this champion is solid, but we'll see what happens when we got her. And then it's Brogni, like I mentioned before, a mini Duchess. If you use this champion in arena offense, he is exactly the same as Duchess. Just doesn't have a revive, but usually you don't need a revive on offense situation. And he is a really good counter to like nuking Hegemon or Kendrafon, because I can currently I build my Brogni in a super fast shield set. So when I'm facing a nuking Hegemon, that Hegemon just one-shot himself because he can reflect damage. Also like those type of nuking Kendrafon, like those Kendrafon just one-shot himself. Alright, that's it for the S- tier. Now let's move on to the A tier. Alright, now we can see this A tier actually has a lot of epic champions, but obviously they're not as good as the legendary champions I just mentioned before, but they're still really good. Especially if you're in Go 4, all these champion has its place. So first is Cardinal, a very good choice in a Go 2nd situation, because if you build this champion in Stone Skin, I know a lot of people are saying that Stone Skin Cardinal is really good, right? Just revive all allies and boost their turn to max. This means they'll instantly get a turn. But the problem is, like, you're gonna avoid those Warlord or Basher teams, because if they put your skill cooldown, it's over. Alright, then we're gonna have Godseeker, a very solid champion. Where is she? She's a Sacred Order again. Alright, so Godseeker, kind of interesting champion. If she revives the champion, it's gonna reset their cooldown. So it's kind of interesting. I do see people use her in top arena, but just not the platinum arena reset. And then we have Gerbtuk. A lot of people call this the worst fusion of all time because look at this rating. Like, I think when the fusion was released, that was definitely the worst fusion of all time, because Fixed Neo was after Gerbtuk, right? So this was definitely the worst. But like, this is actually usable, but very niche. Block buffs is mainly for blocking Swift Parry proc. So if you don't have to deal with Swift Parry, there's no reason to use her. Just use Madame instead. And then we have Yugo, kind of similar. Where's Yugo? Yugo is Oregon Tribe Epic Champion. Alright, here. He's also really good in Hydra, by the way. This decreased defense and block buffs, really good against Swift Parry, but the problem is he's magic affinity, so he's gonna weak it. That's not a good thing. That's why he's not that popular right now. Alright, so the next champion is gonna be Umbro Enchantress. A little bit old school epic. I do see a lot of content creator made a video about her. Use her in arena. She is very solid. A2 block buffs of all enemies for 3 turns with 3 turns cooldown, and A3 is a provoke and block active skill cooldown on herself. It's kind of interesting because I use this champion in Hydra, and if I put her on auto, she just blocked her own skill cooldown. That's kind of silly. But in arena situation, she is really good. And then we have Sandlash Survivor, an Orc Epic Champion. I think she is really good. She used to be really good. If you guys don't know, I got number 3 in Platinum Arena with a Sandlash Survivor defense. That was like back in 2020. I got number 3 with Seeker and Sandlash Survivor on the same team. A super free-to-play defense, alright, because of the passive. She's gonna prevent your team from being one-shot. And then we're gonna have Ghostborn, a Dark Elf Epic Legendary Champion, a little bit niche. Usually you don't need him because you can just use a Madame for the defense down. But this defense down cannot be resisted. But like, there are not many like super high resistance team in the current meta. That's why he is not like super popular choice right now. Alright, then we have Ryan the Conjurer. Where's him? Yeah. Well, people are saying that this is a female, so I'll take her as a female then. Again, to be honest, I don't think the Weaken is as good as defense down, so technically speaking, Madame Ceres is still better than Ryan the Conjurer. But like, if you're using champion like Rhodos that can 100% ignore defense, this Weaken is better, right? It's obvious because you don't need to defense down. You don't need defense down anymore. So the Weaken is better if you're using those champions that can ignore defense already. So a little bit niche, but definitely good. And then we have Bannerlord, Buff Stripper, Sedalia. I don't think she's as good as other buff strips because all she does is buff strip. She does not put any debuff. Maybe give your team a little bit terminal boost, but that's it. Alright, then we're gonna have what's his name here? The Harvest Jack. This champion, I think he is super annoying. Like in Gold 4, I used to have a lot of trouble dealing with this champion because he can steal your buff. He's gonna decrease the duration of your buff, and he's gonna put True Fear and Sleep on you. Like, this is a super annoying champion, especially in Gold 4. And then we have Angar. I think Angar is solid. If he's able to put Provoke on your team, it's pretty much over. But in top arena situation, it's a little bit difficult to be able to successfully land Provoke. That's why like we don't see many Angar in top arena. But if it's in lower tier, Gold 4 or below, he's gonna be a beast, okay? And then we're gonna have Alagaias, another fusion that nobody talks about. He's kind of like a hidden gem in arena right now. The first time I see people use him on defense is from 69 Boomer. I think he built a super strong Alagaias, even though I was able to win the defense easily, but I do think this champion is usable. He has some really interesting kit. Put skill to cooldown, stuff like that. Alright. Then we have Soldering Catan, another super niche champion. He can like remove all your shield that cannot be resisted. But right now, because there are no more Krisk in top arena, that's why we're not seeing this champion as often. Alright, that's it for the first 4 tier. The last one is gonna be some situational champion that you can use under a very special situation. I'm just gonna go through them at once. That's Battle Sage, Sky Touch Shaman, and the Harkon Smash Lord. Like, these are just champions that can help you going against a Torment team or Hegemon team, teams like that. He's gonna remove all your buffs so your team will be able to get a turn. I don't want to put them on the previous tiers because they're super niche. Nowadays I just don't use them at all, but if you don't have a better choice, these are usable. And then the next 4 champions are just ally attack champions. Blender team used to be very popular back in the days with Skullcrown and Sinasha. If you're fast enough, it's actually really good. I see even Hell Hades use Blender team once upon a time on his defense. And nowadays, we don't see ally attack being used that much because too many OP champion being released. You won't be able to one-shot them with Blender team. So, but it's still situational. These champions can help you farm gold medals really fast. So I think it's worth your resource if you just build one of them. You don't have to build all of them, not necessary, but building one of them, it's gonna give you a lot of enjoyment. Yeah, I think that's it for the tier list. Hope you guys enjoy it. Again, this tier list is my personal opinion. It's subjective, but I think like most of arena players, they should agree with this. And for the champion that are on the OP tier, if you just pick any 4 of them, you can make a very good defense. That's how powerful they are. So yeah, if you guys disagree, definitely let me know in the comments below. And otherwise, that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.